If you're looking for just something completely different, a look, a feel for your Tesla, be unique, this is it. Again, get one of the super cool colors too to really add to it. Hey everyone, we got a brand new Cyber Yoke from Handshow. Check this out. It's a brand new design, they say inspired by Starlink. Like I said, they call it a Cyber Yoke, and it's kind of like the Cybertruck wheel, but not. It's, you know, more rounded. It's definitely smaller in terms of width. It might be about the same height. And I gotta say, I like this better than the Cyber Yoke. And what makes this so great is that it's for people, I think, who want a yoke. They want something different, but they're really afraid of not having this top bar up here. And this is perfect for that. Let me tell you right off the bat though, it doesn't come with this carbon fiber, okay? This came from my previous steering wheel. We'll get into this more on the install, but you basically take everything from your OEM steering wheel and put it on this new steering wheel. So airbag, whatever you had here on your buttons, you know, these are onlays for the buttons. Same with here, you know, carbon fiber stuff. I've got links below to that. And also, I kind of, you know what, I wussed out, all right? I got just the black, and I like it. It's really nice. But they have a lot of really cool colors. You can totally customize it. I'm going to show you some here, and it's not even just like flat colors. They do a fade thing on it. I don't know. I would love to do something like that again. Maybe I should have. But anyway, this wheel is nice. Let me try to get some close-up views here. And I will be doing this in an unboxing. We'll get close to it too, do a little bit more of an inspection. But it looks nice. It feels nice. It's very OEM. Stitching's real nice on it. Just everything looks good. So we're going to do the usual. Quick unboxing, take a closer look at it, and then full install. You do have to take everything off of your OEM wheel and put it on here. So the install is a little bit more involved, but it's not bad. I go through every step. Right now, it looks like it's only available for the Highland Model 3, so that's the new refresh 2023 Plus. Wouldn't be surprised if this comes out, though, for the Juniper and the other models soon. We also drive around a little bit. I show you how it works. Yeah, big surprise. Works like a steering wheel. Just that leg clearance, things like that. All the links are below, and remember the discount code TESLAMARK. It saves you the most amount of money and works in all the best places. It's a different package. It's like a dense foam. Okay. This is what we want to see, and ooh, oh wow, this feels good. This feels good. This looks good. I'm trying to get like the stitching in here because it looks really nice. It's like some real high quality stuff. The leather here also just looks really good, really even stitching, and it just feels good. So I think this goes behind the steering wheel. Obviously, we'll get into it, we'll figure it out, but you know, this looks good. This is standard OEM style plastic. This reminds me of the first steering wheels that came out for like the first Yoke, any of the you know, aftermarket steering wheels that came out for the Model 3 years ago, in that they didn't contain anything. You had to transfer everything over. So that is what we have to do here. And yeah, this is pretty cool. You know, here we see this is the Starlink Cyber Yoke, they're calling it. So it's not like a pure yoke. It is not a like a cyber steering wheel. Those were a little bit, they may have been a little bit wider, not sure. I don't have one on me right now. And obviously this has some better curves to it. So it's pretty cool. It looks nice. And of course, a lot of this is subjective. You know, you either like this style or you don't. But yeah, we are going to get this on the car, obviously, and see how it feels. All right, let's go. All right, so what are you going to need for the install? Torque wrench. You're going to torque the new steering wheel down to like 59 foot-pounds. So you need one that can handle 59 foot-pounds, which is kind of like all of them. To get the old steering wheel off, you're going to need either a long ratchet like this, which is, I don't know, some kind of 18-incher, or maybe some kind of a pipe extension or something for your existing, if you have a smaller ratchet. You will need a 10mm Allen socket. You're not going to be able to do it with just an Allen wrench. You're going to need a socket like this and some kind of an extension to be able to reach into the steering wheel. That's a fairly big Allen socket. A couple screwdrivers just to pry some things, you'll see, no big deal. Torques, there's a bunch of torques in here to change things out. This is a T, and this little guy is a T6. So yeah, to swap out all the controls in the steering wheel, you're going to need a bunch of these torques. But otherwise, the install it's not difficult. It's just, you know, just got to change a bunch of things out. No big deal. All right, step one, I am in the safety menu, power off. Let's get in here. Pushing in, nothing happening. You can feel the tabs. There we go. So that side's out. And this side's out. Alright, so here are the posts I was talking about that were being held in by those tabs, and now I need to unplug this yellow plug. Alright, that was easy. Alright, then we've got to get this guy. Alright, I actually had a bit of a hard time getting this one out for some reason, and I had to use this tool to get in here and pry it as I held these clips down like this. So anyway, it should have come out as, you know, like this one did, really easy. Once you get the clips, you just kind of give it a little pull and it comes out. For some reason, this side was stuck a little bit more, but you know, not that big of a deal. We got to get this big 10mm Allen bolt out, and for this, we've got the big boy. I don't know what this is, 18-inch. Ooh, I'm gonna need a little bit more extension to get in there without hitting the steering wheel. If I can do this now.
Settings.
No. There. Alright, this is not that hard if you get this, like I said, like this big 18-inch breaker bar. This is a 1/2-inch drive. It wasn't that hard to get off. But it would have helped to have the steering wheel locked. Look at that sucker. This is actually thread locker, if I'm not mistaken. Basically keeps it from unthreading. Okay, now all we have to do is pull it off. Voila. All right, so we've got to take everything off of your existing steering wheel and put it on the new one. Check this thing out. Before we do that, let's take a look at the size. Now, I've got a number of accessories, let's call them, on the steering wheel. Obviously, a bunch of carbon fiber things. Here, these are just kind of like strap-on deals. These are just extra overlays. All of this is real carbon fiber, though. All of this is really going to get transferred over to the new wheel, except for these pieces here. I've got links to videos where you could look at these things a little bit closer if you'd like. But let's look at the size of these steering wheels. It may not even be quite as wide. It really depends where you are, right? I keep flipping this thing around. So I think I've got it lined up pretty well here. You'll see you get a little bit of a bulge here, and that is on the bottom. But if you looked at the Cyber steering wheel, it's a decent amount wider than this one. So anyway, yeah, this isn't some big bulky wheel. It's not super wide or anything like that. All right, so let's start taking this guy apart and transferring it over. All right, first let's get these guys off. These are T20s, Torx bits. Okay, next we pry this out. All right, this is real small. This is a Torx 9 T9. Recommend getting something like this magnetic tray. That sucker just dropped right out. Okay, next we're going to take these out. These are T30 Torx bits again. Okay, let's unplug this. Okay, remove this guy, T20. Okay, and then there's some real small screws here again, T9s. All right, I already took this one out of the clip here, but this comes out there, and let's see how much of this comes apart. What is holding on here? Oh, okay, not much. All right, we have a few more of these T9s. I see them here, here. Get out of the way. Oh, maybe we can leave these in. Okay, now we just unplug these. Okay, these need to be unplugged, and a little bump there grabs in there, so I just put a very slim screwdriver in there and pulled it out. This side here. Okay, wow, stripped. Now all we have to do is put everything back. Okay, we'll start right where we left off. Okay, so I'm going to start with this side, and basically I'm just lining up the screw holes here, and you kind of have to push it a little bit just because the leather isn't formed yet. Okay, and then this goes here. Now both of these are T9s, but they are different sizes. The threads are more coarse on this one, and it's a little bit shorter. And the coarse threads are the first ones we use. They're for these, this, and this. You know what? I'm going to put the screws in here first. Okay, looking good so far. I'm going to put this in first just because it'll be easier to do before we put that cover back on. Alright, let's plug these guys in now. May as well. And they get clipped into here to hold on to them. Alright, so this bottom piece is not going to fit any longer. We need to replace it with this. Oh, okay, so we just push this up, basically. So I'm squeezing this up. There we go. Alright, so we get rid of this. And push that in there. Push that in there. That needs to go all the way in there. That goes all the way in there. Okay, so this wire has to be routed back around here like this. and come through here. Same with this side here. Otherwise, this won't go on. If I could keep it together, things are lined up pretty well. So, put these back on. Okay, looking good. Now we can tuck these wires back kind of into the sides here, into these channels. There we go, tuck everything in there nicely. Get this connector to plug back in. Now I think we're set. So we don't need any of these. Check it out. All right, this is it. It's going in, man. It's exciting. All right, now there are a couple keys in here, so you can't put this on the wrong way. On top of that, you got to line it up with the plugs in there. So, all right, so it doesn't feel like it's in all the way, but when we tighten this bolt back up, I think it'll push it in the rest of the way. Okay, let's make sure that this is off again too, before I start plugging everything back in. Every time you get out and back in the car and sit down, it turns everything back on. Now, it's better to have a torque wrench. Spec is 59 foot-pounds. Is that 80 Newton meters, if I remember? Okay. And there we go. 59, all right. Now we are done with that. And all we have to do now is plug this back in. Oh, of course, the car powered back up. Sometimes you just shift your weight in the car and it powers back up. Okay, plug these guys back in. And then this yellow plug that back in. Okay, and then we've just got to line up these 3 pins. Okay. All right, and we're in. Bottom seems very similar in terms of size to a yoke, any yoke steering wheel basically. Compared to the Cyber steering wheel though, it overall does seem smaller and it doesn't hit my legs nearly as much. But with any yoke, just because it's not as rounded as a normal steering wheel, you do have to raise the steering wheel up a little bit. So this is where I normally have my steering wheel, and actually, well, I guess it depends where I put my legs, but this doesn't seem, this is not as bad as the Cyber yoke anyway, like I said, in terms of hitting my knees, hitting my legs. It seems maybe the same as, again, as a standard yoke, and then I think I had it up like right around here, just like, but otherwise it clears pretty easily. It's just not that wide. This is it. Again, get one of the super cool colors too to really add to it.